And welcome to our broadcast, folks. It's the 25th day of November. Already, can you believe that? I mean, I'm a little stunned by it. 25th day of November. We're heading to into this season, further and further into this season, where I gotta be mellow. I gotta be mellow, Can't, can't be rowdy in the Christmas season. Peace and goodwill to all men. Isn't that so? How a song there? Peace and goodwill. Navjo, peace and goodwill. Almost said Navajo. Sheena, Mandy, Avril, Jilly G. Thanks to the thing, Jilly G. Thanks to the things. Daily. Daily. Who no? Sandra Hanover's on the live too. Joining us on the tube. Auntie Sandra, how you doing? How you doing, Auntie Sandra? Hope you well. Hope you great. Yonet is on with us. Yonet is here. Lynn Fernandez is on with us as well. Everett Small. Tawana Green is here too. Tawana, how are you doing? A very good morning to you. Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 25th day. 25th day, believe it or not, 25th day of November. We are almost at the December start line. Already hearing the Christmas carols. I don't know how you guys do it up north, but about mid-November, you start hearing the Christmas carols. I was in the car with my wife the other morning. We were listening to the radio, and I heard the Christmas carol. That was my first, at least for the season. I remember how tingly, butterfliesy, how nice I felt inside. Warm and cozy. I hate that feeling. I don't like it. I don't like it, You got to gear down. Patricia Sana, Dennis Booker, you got to gear down. In this Christmas season, you can, you don't fire and all it. Good morning, Humi, Denise and Nia. Good morning, Denise Griffith. I see Anne-Marie. Good to have you on the live this morning. Good to have you on the live this morning. All the other folks, the folks at the American Embassy, good morning to you. The Canadian Embassy, all the other folks. I see we're doing a lot of training with the Americans. How you folks are doing? We're doing a lot of training with the Americans. Anything that helps us to build capacity, helps to keep our borders safe. Your safety is our concern, right? I see Judith says, I'm playing Christmas music since the 1st of November. Judith, you're different. Judith Blair. Judith said, I play my Christmas carol since the first day of November. Look, sometimes you're in the mood since during summer. Something got you down. You throw on a Christmas carol, put a pep in your step, man. Right? Sheridan, put a pep in your step. Elizabeth Narayan, good morning. Good morning. I heard you're putting away for Thanksgiving. How things? How the turkey and so? I heard you're putting away for Thanksgiving. Is everything set? I should have come up for Thanksgiving. That's what I should have do. Elizabeth, we see you there. Margaret is on the live too, folks. Did y'all check out Margaret's profile as per instructions? As per instructions, did you check out Margaret's profile? Margaret Nelson. I sent you all on Margaret's profile. Was it yesterday? It had to be yesterday. It had to be Monday. I said, check out Margaret's profile. And tell me if I was wrong when I spoke about Margaret's palatial dwelling. Right? And not only that, right? Not only that, give that video a like. Margaret put out the things, man. Margaret put out the things. Showed us how to do something. When I see how Margaret threw out the lights and the trees and so on. All right? How you going to take down everything I had? Sorry, we can start back from scratch. We can get it right. We can get it right. You see. We can get it right. Iron sharpen iron. That's how a man sharpen the countenance of his friends. We just share the video. Yeah, I'll take that. We just share the video. Thank us later. And I see how Margaret put out them lights. Move, Come on now. Come on. I got to retire in style. I got to retire in style. Margaret beating and teaching out here. 22nd day of November, Margaret posted a video. I posted the link to the video on the thing there. Y'all get a video like, man. Shucks. Margaret put out that place there. I could be there right now for all I know. I could be there right now. Right? Right? Mandy says only the Christmas carols has put a pep in her step. All right? She said, Mandy says, Lady saw a rich man is all I want for Christmas. That's her favorite tune. Teach his own. Teach his own. The lights don't by itself. The blinds, the curtains, whatever it is. The pepper don't magically appear in the pot. Whatever it is. Good morning, folks. Neil says I can go for next year. Once invited. Folks, good morning, good morning. As I said to you, your safety is my concern. And that is why we've been talking to you about this EID card business. We've been talking to you guys about that. Joel, Linda, Paula, Marla, pay some power, Marla. Pay some power. Man, how did Christmas treating you this year? How did Christmas treating you this year? They pay the back pay? Is back pay or is back paying? Is back pay or is back paying? They pay the cash grant yet? They pay the cash grant yet? Oh my God. Them boy says the new digital age. Or is it a digital cage? Government continues pushing ahead with the digital identification registration, the digital ID registration and distribution, even though Guyanese at home and abroad, two key laws that are meant to protect your data are not enforced. How can you be implementing new ID, EID? This is not through GCOM. This is through, I think, is the Prime Minister's office is handling this personally. Personally. Look, when you're watching movies, who's the first person is getting the bullet? Right? And here we're talking proverbially, right? We're talking figuratively. Y'all don't get confused. All right. Let me take that back. For safety. Right? Who's the first person something has happened to? More broadly. So the Prime Minister's office is handling this. I wonder why. Then get Anil office, then get Ashley office, then get PM. You manage the EID role. This is not GCOM, you know. Isn't it GCOM that handles national ID and stuff? When you lost the ID, where you just go? You just go to PM office? Huh? G know the whole story. G know the whole thing top to bottom. You see, when your spirit is clean, you pick up things. Flesh and blood and reveal that to G. You're going to be tapping into something upstairs. Do your devotion every morning. Tapping into something. G, first thing, right off the bat. Who's going to lash first? Who's going to lash first? Huh? Who? So they're pushing ahead. Even though key laws that are meant to protect your data and my own and the citizens of this country, they're not enforced. The Prime Minister himself, Mark Phillips, the rubber stamp himself, he admitted, this was in an article in Demar Waves just over the weekend. He said the law is not enforced as yet. We have not operationalized the laws with the safeguards, with the guardrails, with the protections, with the oversight. But it says legal. Trust me. Trust us. But the laws meant to safeguard citizens is not yet enforced. What kind of story is this? Well, what are they pulling over our eyes? Huh? What? Oh, this is what the Prime Minister says. Right? So despite the risk and public concerns, Sparkle Gonzalez, Jilly G, Beatrice Mandy, despite public concerns, thousands of public servants are being registered and forced to register. When you get a circular in your department, on your floor, in your cubicle, that says the team coming, PM and Kwame coming, be there to register. Margaret Morris, Diane, if you see the questions they're asking, Diane, they want to know where your bank account. They want to know your bank account number for ID card. They want to know your sex, how much times per week, male or female. They want to know all kinds of things. The only two things I didn't see the answer in that form is a blood sample and a stool sample. And if you read some of the questions carefully, it might be implied. So where are they going with this? Thousands of public servants, I dare say, are being forced. They might be coming to your department this morning. And then they can They can dangle the little carrot. They can dangle the little carrot. They can say, sparkle girl. Right? Neon, petal, Carlisle. You won't get a cash grant. Everett, Beatrice. You won't get a cash grant. No. You better register. Next thing you know, looking at your pot. But see what you're cooking. How much you're cooking today? When I was growing up, my grandparents, I see my aunt and their life, they used to use arrows like how we use potatoes. It always fascinated me because at our house, we never used arrows like that. But at my grandparents' house, they used to farm. They used to plant everything. Always busy, busy, busy. Right? My grandparents, a blessed memory. You know, this is coming one, how much arrow in your pot? How much you got in the backyard still in the ground? Marlon Thomas. So the government is collecting biometric data for this EID card. That's what they're doing. Biometric data. Right? They want you to see what your face look like. You know? Just so they can tell you, go by what's the studio's name? They want to demand these days. I went there for some lovely photographs the other day. You see some new photographs of my profile. What studios are there? My God. Shadow Studio? Is it Shadow Studio? I think it is. You know? With wonderful fellow. Quincy. Owned by photographer Quincy. What's his surname? Maybe missing it. You know? Why I went by this studio. They were very kind. Number one, maybe I shouldn't say this. You're gonna laugh at me. I had an appointment for the Wednesday. Of course, it's me. I mix up the whole thing. I went to Tuesday. I went to Tuesday. But I was so happy. You know, I would have rather had my photographs taken by Rio. Of course, Margaret. I would have rather had my photographs taken by Rio. Put them in the cover of Vogue or something like that. GQ. You know? But the absence of Rio, Quincy will have to do. That being said, I got there one day early, well dressed. But Quincy was so gracious. He said, come on in, Mr. Duncan. Come on in. Come on in. I'll take care of you. He said one thing though, he said the rest of the staff were really looking forward to having you come tomorrow because they wanted to do some behind the scenes stuff and so on. I said, well, you got to take me as it is. Right? It's one shirt, never two. It's one shirt, never two. Right? Now look, Naomi. Naomi know everything. Naomi, you got selling in this chair a couple days, you know. Naomi, you got selling in this chair a couple days. You know the whole thing. I just said Quincy. Naomi, give me the whole history top to bottom now. Top to bottom. No names, no warrant. Or names, but no warrant. He said, come in, Mr. Duncan, Baba. But I want to get to the point I want to make. What I liked about Quincy taking my photographs, he wasn't waiting for you to think, well, he was offering you without a book or anything like that. He was, this is the pose. Bop, bop, bop. What style you want? Cooperate, this, that, bop, bop. I like that. Right? I like it. The only regret I had is that I went a day earlier. Because I didn't get to see the girls and so on. You know how they wanted me there. They wanted to fuss and do the behind the scenes stuff and so on. And I was starting to disappoint them, but I didn't want to have to go back a second day. It's one share, never two. You know, when I pass, I strip back there, I pass, rub out the steps. But I had a fantastic time at Shudder, right? Now that's the day I got there. I see a podcast happening, something like that. Thank God I took my popcorn and so on. Sword and all. You know how. Sword and all. You know how. But I was happy. And so he left for the send your shot to studio now. And said, bring proper photos. Bring proper photos. You know, I wish I could change the photograph of my ID. It's not a true reflection. It might have been an off day. It's not a true reflection. Please and thank you. I was having an off day. See? So they're taking your biometric data. They want your face. They want your fingerprint. Huh? You got to take a pedicure now. Who doing the pedicure? The manicure. You know, they want your toe print. They want your personal identifiers. Right? You got a mole on your back. You got a mole on your back, they want to see it. What kind of ID card is this? You know? You got a scar somewhere. My God. They want how much tattoo you got. What kind of ID card is this, Marlon? Aaron Curtin? What kind of ID card is this? You see? So I had my photographs taken by my other disappointment with Start the Studio. Here again, some problems though. My second disappointment, my first disappointment, I didn't get to meet the girls, you see. They were excited. I never like to disappoint people. As a politician, people is my business. I never like to disappoint people. The Spanish, nobody at all. I never like to disappoint nobody. Right? My second disappointment at the studio, I did not meet the individual. Look, problems though. I didn't meet the individual. But I can buy a t-shirt. I didn't meet the individual. I can buy a t-shirt though. Vesta says Satan and the minions working overtime. Mark of the beast. Satan and his minions. I agree with you. This EID card business. They're working overtime. Satan and his minions. Overtime. You know? Overtime. I didn't meet the individual. That's my second disappointment. I feel like it was a misrepresentation. Naomi, look, Naomi said I corrupt. Naomi calling me PPP here now. Naomi say I corrupt. But Naomi, I learned from the best. Many happy returns. So they want your fingerprint. They want your face. They want your picture. It's biometrics. It's biometrics. All of this, while the protective parts of the Digital Identity Act, the Digital Identity Act, and the Data Protection Act, snoozing, dormant. Someone said dead as a doornail. See a difference? The act, or the acts, the Data Identity Act, the Data Protection Act, they have not been enforced. That's why we made dormant. So they were passed, but they have not been operationalized, you see. And I think it's for purpose. I think it's for a purpose. Because this means there are no safeguards, there are no oversights, there are no legal limits on how your information is stored and used. And what the PPP is asking us to do is to trust them. Trust us. That's what they're saying. Trust us. Trust us. When? Mandy, Bernice, Gisela, Marlon. Wasn't it the UN? Not the UN, the EU. I got the EU right. The EU just told us in that comprehensive report by their election observers mission that the public data was misused in the last election. I give them my number for the cash grant because I asked them a number. I said I can call and tell you when it's ready. Next thing you know, the phone ring. I pick up the phone. If somebody want to know who I voting for, what it got to do with you? Let the cash grant roll in. But who I'm voting for got to do with you? I see somebody saying, we don't vote again. So the EU was alerting us that we saw too with our own eyes how they misuse the data entrusted to them by the public. And now they're asking you for more data. More data. The one when you sneeze. The one if you get chigger. If you got Bigfoot. What is it? What is it? But they're saying to trust them. Why they don't want to enforce the legislation that will give the oversight? That will bring up the guardrails. Put up the firewall. Why not? But we got to keep digging. We got to keep digging. You see, this is the work of an opposition. This is the work of an opposition. Look, I see veterans moving. Veteran says, Sherrod, stop spreading propaganda. Clearly, you didn't read the EU report because the EU said it was the state media that was giving 98% of the PPP that was spreading propaganda. That was spreading propaganda. But you see, if you don't like read and so on, right? You don't like studies and report and paragraph and subject-verb agreement and, you got a difficult time. That's the problem with we. That's the problem with us. You see, if the EU says...
What problem are you referring to?
If the EU says that the data was mishandled, was misused, this is not the key. It's not the new nation, right? It's not the Veterans Movement Journal with real propaganda. No. It's a respected EU, right? And Margaret raises an important point. Margaret says, can they read and comprehend? Right? And look, veterans spreading more propaganda here. Veterans movement said, Ghana not getting any digital ID. The government, Jagdio says it's digital ID, compulsory, mandatory. Unless veterans moving forward is the vice president. I know they're doing an about turn. But we digress, folks. We digress. This is an issue we have to contend with. It's an issue we have to contend with. And Parliament must Parliament. The National Assembly must National Assembly. You see? And so we are going to be moving on this front, pushing this issue, because we have to get clarity. We have to get clarity. Whatever language the word parliament is taken from, is it Latin? Is it French? Whatever it is. I know the etymology, the study of the word. When you go back, you'll see parliament, parlar, means to talk. That's what it means. So we got to go there. And we got to talk about these issues. We want clarity. We only want billions of dollars spending for GCOM, and then the system opaque. The system shrouded in secrecy, shady. We don't want that. So Parliament must Parliament. This is not only about extradition and who should be opposition leader, who want to take it. But let us do the work of the people. Of the people. And I would dare say, none of it is mutually exclusive. Because we bigger, we got sense. We could walk and chew gum, can't we? Right? So we can multitask here. While we're fighting on this front over here, we're advancing these issues over here. You know. So I would love to see some of my other parliamentary colleagues picking up on some of these issues. Picking up on some of these issues as well. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. So these are some of the things I wanted to point out to you this morning. And then we will now, good folks, we're going to massage some other issues that are in the news that I think I want to bring to your attention. And maybe I'll circle back to this particular issue with a thought or two before we wrap up this morning. But it's so much that's happening. So much that is happening. For instance, before I head into the other things substantively that I want to raise with you all this morning, some of the things we're still seeing making the headlines, of course, this digital ID rollout. Digital ID rollout. That's how they refer to it. So you want me to say ID card? The Prime Minister office dealing with it specifically, not even Chicom. It's like a pet project. So that's happening. The Venezuelans, they have restricted their airspace. You know, restricted their airspace. And that is disrupting regional travel. Now, I have seen them the last week. The GDF, the meeting with the Americans, the training with the Americans. I saw them doing some training with the Brazilians. I saw a headline this morning that they're also talking to the Colombians, and they might do some training with the Colombians as well. Folks, there's something impending. There's something happening that the rest of us should be briefed upon, briefed about. There's something happening that we don't know. Venezuela. I think they're doing something also with the Surinamese. Colombia, Suriname, Brazil. Training right now with the US of A. Is something happening, impending, that the rest of us ought to know about? Better connect the dots. We better connect the dots. So domestic passengers are now facing delays and detours due to what's happening in the skies over Venezuela and the air ship being restricted. They still fall out over the 2024 Auditor General report, procurement breaches being highlighted, and medical supply contracts and regional projects delayed. So we're still seeing the fallout over that. Also, a topic for discussion is the pressure of the administration of the PPP regime on the judiciary. Yeah, we heard the tirade of Irfan Ali, President Irfan Ali, against the sitting judge Gino Prasad recently in that case, and it has triggered a lot of concern. It has triggered a lot of concern. The other thing we're looking at is the cost of living and how that continues to impact lives at home and abroad. At home and abroad. Because when the economy, not the economy, and who did we call? Not the Ghostbusters. We call Marlon, girl, things here. Things here, Linda and Marlon Thomas. Send something for your boy now. You know? Send something for your boy. Jilly G. Jilly G, don't tell me pray and trust God. Oh. Send something for your boy. Oh. You know, so what happens at home impacts at home and abroad. I'm certain some of you, when you heard we discovered oil, you say, well, I got a little relief now. You know, every month I got to send a little something. I get a little relief now, boy. Got a little relief now. 6 years later, you're sending more money now. As a matter of fact, some of y'all say, well, they can send something for me because the oil is nice time. And then you get gas. Father, we're a blessed country with resources, but we're a cursed country with poor leadership. We are a blessed country with resources. I'm sure some of y'all could rattle off things we even know. I told y'all I've been gags when I see, right? I see the species of wood in this country. We got manganese, bauxite, this, that. You name it. Gold, diamond, timber like you never see timber before. We got rum and rice, rum and raisin, rum and cokes, rum with everything. You know, we got all that. We got resources like you never see. Right? We got Mola. Sorry, the individual. We got Quincy. Sorry, G-Man. We got resources like you never see before. Right? We got a lot of resources. We got Charmy Blackman. What's the fella's name? God, I sing it in my mind. Like, you know, we got a lot of resources. And yet, people are struggling in this country. My God. People are struggling in this country. You gotta watch that, you see? We gotta watch that. People struggling. Yesterday's Starbucks news, to make my point. Because I know some of you got in the chat saying, here is travel rousing now. But take this one in your chest. I'm backing up what I'm saying with facts. Right? Yesterday's Starbucks news. You know that article every Monday, how the cost of living affecting you? Here's some folks from Bell West. Here's some folks from Bell West. You know, some of this stuff is so serious. You know, it is so serious on a serious scale. It's tipping over now to funny. You know, but these are Guyanese brothers and sisters living in this country full of resources. Right? Hear what Simran Munilal told Sabak News. Simran says, a long time I ain't buy no greens. Let pull out earphone Ali. Remember earphone Ali in Bobis over the weekend? You know? When he says something he thinks is profoundly looking for approval, for confirmation. Simran says it's a long time I ain't buy no greens. Them greens expensive. Very expensive. Simran is a mother of two. And then you got Odessa Hendricks, a mother of four. It's obviously women disproportionately affected. Cooking gas, Odessa Hendricks says, was $4,300. Now cooking gas is $5,000. $5,000. Right? Or 25 US for a bottle of cooking gas. Or this is a garlic gone up high. Garlic gone up high. So if you got two vampires you got to deal with, well, it's dead, you're dead now. If you got two vampires to deal with, it's dead, you're dead. Or that's Hendricks said, garlic gone up high. And then she went on to say the president needs to step down on it. Do something about it. And then you got Safia Khan, a housewife and a truck worker. That's what the paper said. Who's a truck worker? The mechanic? I'm not too certain. Is wash truck? I don't know. Safia Khan. Safia says a small Demwara goal was 360. Bracelet. Then by the sugar industry coming back and you have bucks. Whether you like it or not. Even with all them billions people pouring, we come. You have a fashion, you have bucks. A small Demwara goal was 360. It's now 800. This Safia Khan, you know. Safia Khan was 360, now it's 800. How much percentage increase is that? You all know we can go with the maths. Right? We can go with the maths. Here is Sukhman Ganesh, a pensioner, who is raising her grandson. Here what Sukhman says. She's a pensioner raising a grandson. Right? Sukhman Ganesh. Sukhman says, I put in for public assistance for my grandson. I put in for public assistance for my grandson. I didn't get through. Right? Vindhya Prasad. Vindhya Sukhman says she didn't get through. Right? Here is Sukhman says next. Sukhman says, may I punish myself with them? My wife always laughs at my Creely. My wife instinctively, culturally, she knows what Creelys is from Yeovil, Region 5. She knows Myconic Creely. She knows 28. She knows Quarantine. She knows West Side Creely instinctively. Sukhman says, I didn't get through Vindhya with public assistance of a grandson. She said, me punish myself with them. My God. She said, me also 5 more years for them. She said, me punish myself with them. Fastest growing economy in the world. Fastest growing economy in the world. I'll give you one more. Or not. Or more than one more. Hear what Vicky Ramdu says. Vicky Ramdu is a contractor. Vicky Ramdu says you still got to eat. Everything skying up. I guess that means going up. Chicken was 460. Now chicken is 560. Chicken is 460. It's 560 now. I don't know if my aunt's still on the live or she gone to sleep away. She gone to work. I don't know. But her father's sister, her aunt Iris. Iris taught me a thing. You know, when you live under the PPP, you get creative. Right? And Iris and I talking. Every time Iris saw me, this is my great aunt. Iris used to give me $20 in a bus, whatever. Iris used to give me $20. You know, when you're a child, big people is a fascination. Big people. To see Iris in the bus was a rarity. This lady used to walk. I remember going to church with Iris. Right? I remember seeing Iris walk some distances. Man, Eliud Kipchoge ain't got nothing on Iris. Eliud Kipchoge is the one of the greatest long distance runners of all time. You know, of all time. He had nothing on Iris. Iris would walk you out. One day Iris said to me, right? She said, boy, I buy quarter pound beef for last me whole month. A quarter pound beef for last me whole month. Here's story now. Hold on. Y'all know, I ain't show y'all one graphic at the bottom of the screen yet with the news item. Iris said half quarter pound of beef last me whole month. Iris was a petite woman. Right? Every ounce of flesh meant something. You know, nothing in excess. She said quarter pound of beef. Right? Will last me whole month. My home name, real inner circle is Junior. Don't ask me how to come to Junior. I even name after my father. And back in the days, they're just wild. They're just wild. So Auntie Iris would either say Junior, or her special name for me was Pooh. Don't ask me how from Junior Auntie Iris land with Pooh. People are just wild. If your parents give you a name as beautiful as Sherrod, how you end up at Junior? How you end up at Pooh? I don't understand it. You know, these 35, 36 years later, I still don't understand it. But here Auntie Iris tell me. Here's the truism. Auntie Iris said, Junior, she said, the problem with y'all is eat meat for it. That's what the lady said. Y'all is, I never forget this thing. This must have been 30 years ago. She said, y'all eat meat for it. Open my mouth, add it up. She said, when I cook my meat, right? She said, when I cook my meat, Jelly G, I put a meat in the pot for soak in that stew. I put my meat in the pot for soak. Let some of the nutrients. You see, when you live on the PPP, you get creative. I let some of the nutrients soak in there. I take out my meat and I put it back in the fridge. Or I put it up. Me even if I erase at the fridge. But you all know people used to do it. You see? You parboil the beef or something like that. Big people understood this thing like to a science. Auntie Iris, I put my little meat for soak. Let some of the nutrients go in there. She said the problem is you got to see the meat. You got to see the beef. I know my nutrients they're in there. And then I put back my girl in the fridge. I have a very colorful family. I put back my nutrients in the fridge. Quarter pound of beef, whole month. Quarter pound of beef. Was Iris the only one? Come on, man. I see somebody say, no lies detected there. Right? Look, somebody else says, it comes and go and buy so far. Never heard of that. Jilly G said, never heard of that. Never heard of that. And yet, MEC or MEK said no lies detected. Right? Juliet, Iris say you only got to get the flavor. You got to get the nutrients. What do you get from beef? Protein? I don't know. Iris said, Iris Henry of blessed memory. Iris Henry of blessed memory. You know? My aunt in life, she could tell you, Iris was a fascinating lady. Iris Henry was a fascinating lady, you know. And I was happy that Iris had a hand in my upbringing, you know. I grew up slim, you know, it's only now. Trying to show up this, not PP, it's COVID fat. I trying to show up this COVID fat. It's only now, you know. Grew up slim. You can't grow up with Iris and you grow up thick and so on. No. Iris. That lady was quick on her feet. Right? Quick on her feet. By the time you see Iris, let's say by Seawall Bandstand, Kingston, and you trying to make out this Iris? Iris done that by Turkine. Nimble on her feet. Nimble on her feet. Nimble on her feet. You see? Well, you see, I see some of y'all spelling poo as far as I know incorrectly. I thought poo was P-O something H. Ends with an H. Right? I thought it was that poo in my whole life when Auntie Iris is the only person ever called me poo. Don't ask me how. Where Auntie Iris get poo from? But my whole life, every time I meet Auntie Iris, $20. From the age of 5 till I was about 30, it never increased. Never increased. You see, but I was happy. Auntie Iris had a hand in my upbringing. Learned a lot from her, but economics and so on. And we were there when Auntie Iris transitioned this life. I held her casket, and helped put her in the ground. You know? Auntie Iris, boy. Auntie Iris. The church spoke well of her. My aunt is on the live there. Elizabeth, what was the name of Auntie Iris Church in Kitty? I've seen the church, but the name is slipping me. What was the name of our church? Everybody attested. Auntie Iris was a fantastic woman. You know, a marvel. And Auntie Iris started doing the economics. You know? When Auntie Iris started doing it, remember Chetty had said something at time. I can't remember which budget. He said you get so much of this. He even got some money left over, some sweets for the kids. When Auntie Iris started doing the economics there, you understand how you could get sweets for the kids? Quarter pound of beef whole month. You want to see beef? That's your problem. So, what's the moral of this story? Right. As y'all celebrate Thanksgiving, as y'all celebrate Thanksgiving, right? Some of y'all families, you know, we like doing everything. We Guyanese at home. So we get Thanksgiving right here, you know. If your family looking forward to Thanksgiving at home here in Guyana, and you know they announce the back pay yet, so you can't trust the thing from the Chapman. They ain't giving out, they announce the cash grant yet, so you want to take chances. Right? Let them know you don't have to see this thing. You see? You don't have to see this thing, but you know the nutrients. Vicky Ramdu, the chicken was $4.60. It's $5.60 now. You know, I can see Jack Dio saying, Vicky, you know what your problem is? You got to see this chicken. You see? Vicky, you got to see this chicken. Right. Fastest growing economy in the world. Right. Fastest growing economy in the world. Mahindra Prasad, a single father of 4. A single father of 4. Commissioner Cole says, I didn't want to say it, but you see, Commissioner Cole nimble on your feet. Commissioner Cole says, soak the turkey. Jilly G spelled it right. P-O-O-H. Pooh. That's how, in my mind's eye as a child, that's how it was spelled. Pooh. P-O-O-H. Commissioner Cole says soak the turkey. Soak. You only want the nutrients. You problem is you got to see the turkey. Naomi, Elizabeth, Raymond, Margaret. Your problem is y'all got to see the turkey. That's how we got these problems in families. Mahindra Prasad, final one. Mahindra Prasad. Mahindra says, I go cut bush 5 o'clock in the morning. I hope I get my inflections right. I go cut bush 5 o'clock in the morning. No, not in the morning. Morning. I go cut bush 5 o'clock morning and still can't manage. 5 more years upon them. I go cut bush 5 o'clock morning. Still can't manage. Pepper was $100 for 5. Now it's $200. So they tell you now, stop eat pepper. Right? Soak the turkey, but don't pepper it. Right? It's a pepperless pepper pot this Christmas with 5 pepper for $200. How y'all gonna do Mahindra that? How? Huh? How? Rampasad. Right? Tardevi Rampasad is a housewife. Tardevi said I do grocery with 15,000. Right? I do grocery with 15,000. But I cook 2 times a day. And that didn't even last a week. Right? This is Bell West Voices. Bell West Region 3. 5 more years from them. I do grocery with 15,000. I'm averaging this is per week. They don't even last for the week. Tardevi Rampasad. Final one. Final one. Randy Dude Not. Self-employed. Randy said I had a wash bay. I had to shut it down. So Randy Billy no generational wealth. He said, I know the whole thing top to bottom. Randy said I had a wash bay, I had to shut it down. Right? Y'all who thinking about your cake for Christmas? Randy said eggs is $2,000 a tray now. Right? Gas is $4,900 and $5,000. Randy said it's pressure. It's not pressure wash. Randy said the economics is pressure. It's pressure. Cindy Fredericks, I like to y'all. Cindy Fredericks said, I can't buy a whole chicken. Cindy got for soak. Cindy said, can't buy a whole chicken. Right? I can't buy a whole chicken. Most greens now is fertilizer greens. Listen to what Cindy says. I don't mean to laugh. But I tell you, the thing's so serious, it's now dipping into the humorous meter. Cindy Francis. Cindy said, can't buy a whole chicken. Most greens now is fertilizer greens, killing you faster. That's Cindy words. Most greens now is fertilizer greens, killing you faster. And then the final one. They pulled for me. No water, no light. 1 chicken now, 3,000. I have 7 kids. Right? You think it's easy? This is Alexis Bagwandin, a housewife. Alexis Bagwandin. Alexis says, no water, no light. 1 chicken now costs 3,000. Right? I have 7 kids. You think it's easy? This Christmas, we're doing the Iris method. We dipping, we soaking. Get creative. You don't have to see it. We dipping and we soaking. I tell you, we ain't got to see it. We dipping and we soaking. Right? While all that's happening, residents say in the New Bridge, the vibrations from the Barajagdio, Demerara Harbor Bridge, whatever it is, the VIP, what's the acronym? The RIP, whatever it is, the AIDS, whatever, what's the name of the acronym for the bridge, man? The vibrations from the bridge damaging the homes. Damaging the homes. Had a fatal stabbing in Supply. Fatal stabbing in Supply. A 9-year-old, his 15-year-old cousin, threw a bicycle in the chest. He's dead. 9-year-old. You see? 9 years old. Right? Drive-by shooting. A van in a car, Pentagon knock. A drive-by shooting. Right? And as we talk about the cost of living, the cost of internal flights is so high. All you out here begging them, pull down the price. Oh, chicken high, pepper high, flights stay high too. So people stop traveling now. Domestic tourism going to suffer. Begging, pull down the cost of internal flights, the man. Cooking gas, tennis show gone up, flour gone up. You can't even make roti as you used to make it before. Fastest growing economy in the world. High income country. And all that good stuff. Biggest GDP per capita. All the good stuff. All the good stuff. You hear me? You hear me? Sidney Francis says, most greens is fertilizer greens. It's killing you faster. You see, 5 more years for them. And then they want your data. They want you buy. Like they haven't taken enough from you. Huh? They ain't taking enough from you. But this Christmas, you got a method. I ain't left you powerless. You have a method, you see? Iris Henry of blessed memory. Yeah. Let us leave it there this morning, folks. Let us leave it there. Naomi and Bernice and Humi, Chevron and Jilly G and Mandy and all you other beautiful folks. Let us leave it there this morning. How y'all doing today? Y'all go ahead, folks, and have a fantastic day. Take your time. Peel your pine. Be careful how you're parking in the city. Don't get in problems with people. Auntie Sandra, Diane, and Avril. Lynette, Finance. You have a productive day as well. And all you other folks. I see Virginia, welcome, is here. Good to have you this morning. And all you other folks joining us. Share the live before you go. Smash that emoji button for us. We got hundreds of you on, but barely 100 reactions. My wife said it's not emojis. Don't see emojis. Coming into the 21st century, my husband. Right? 119 reactions. Make it right. Make it right. Please and thank you. All right, we're going to see you guys later. Take care. That's the time. That's our broadcast.